On today's episode of Perfiles, I have the honor to be joined by amazing muralist Ignacio García, Mexican-American artist.
And Sonorense.
Yeah, mucha honra. Today we have the exclusive access to his studio, but also I had the opportunity to tour downtown and actually appreciate all his beautiful, beautiful murals in the heart of Tucson. And the first stop we made was by Los Vaqueros.
Sí, the Tucson Rodeo mural is Los Vaqueros, yeah, basically.
And it's probably very representative of your essence because you grew up en un rancho, no? Or en Cabullona. You said that in Cabullona. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing growing up.
So growing up, I used to go during the summer, go visit my grandparents in Mexico, and there's a small town called Cabullona, which is like the main Garcia land where it originally was founded and stuff. So even till now, they still have the ranch, the Garcia Ranch, and so as a child, I used to see my grandfather, I guess, get the cattle and then maintain the fields and stuff, and him and his brother, and then overall like the little ranch that they lived in. I mean, it was a gritty kind of a lifestyle, but it was beautiful as well. The very humbling lifestyle and beautiful landscape, and so that's how I kind of reflected that look.
And you blend kind of your biculturalism in all your art. Now, you were born in Agua Prieta, Sonora, but you were raised in Benson and then in Phoenix. Tell me a little bit about your childhood growing up, or how did you go back and forth?
I didn't go much into Mexico until now recently, but was born in Agua Prieta, and then 10 days later was raised up in the U.S. and then growing up in Benson, Arizona for all my childhood. Great memories, amazing people. And then went to Chandler High School. After that, went to LA for years. I established a lot of my career there and was part of a lot of movements that was happening during that time, especially the street art and then the DJing, tattooing culture. So it was that era that I was exposed, and luckily to know that I was part of that movement. And then I decided to come back to Tucson and kind of settle down and have a family. And then Tucson's an amazing place because it has everything that I could actually wish for. It has a little bit of the town lifestyle, has a city lifestyle, and then overall the culture is just so deep and rooted. And it's just there's always something here that you can express and then enjoy everything that you can. It's multiple.
Wow! So you lived in LA. How old were you when you lived in LA?
I was in my early 20s.
And so the art is in your veins because you first started exploring, I guess, your artistic soul as a DJ.
Yes.
In the music world, in the music scene. And then you came to Arizona, and then I think the urban Sonoran mural, and I think it's also a blend of all the influence that you bring, growing up, and then you were in LA. That's a very cosmopolitan city. Everybody who wants to make it in the entertainment industry goes to LA. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about Urban Sonoran.
Yeah, Urban Sonoran is a collection. It's 30 pieces that I was, I guess they offered me this wall, and I'm like, sure. And I asked them, it's like, what are you going to do with these plywoods? Because it was just basically to kind of prevent it from graffiti. And then I asked them, it's like, what are you going to do with these plywoods? They're like, oh, nothing. I was like, can I keep them? I was like, sure. So I just came up with this idea that what if I could just make these into a little collection? So I throw out the idea, they loved it, and then now it was a great fun project to know that to have that artistic freedom and to kind of express and kind of reflect back to what Tucson and downtown Tucson is. It was just a great opportunity to kind of explore that and to know that people just really love that and felt proud about that. I'm just kind of honored to have that opportunity.
And one of the murals, or probably my favorite, when I first arrived or moved back to Arizona, I was so intrigued by who is Ignacio, the guitarrista, and all the beautiful colors. And that is also probably my favorite, and when I discovered you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and tell me about La Guitarrista.
So La Guitarrista was actually approached to me. It was basically to cover up another mural that I did. which was the Bill Walton or the Jackalope mural. I've been wanting to paint that over for a while, but because it just didn't fit of that downtown vibe, it was more like U of A kind of a element. So finally they approached me. I was like, hey, are you willing to paint over it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be happy to. But I felt like I'd mentioned, it's like, hey, if it's something about more music, something that kind of reflects, that downtown, and then plus the Rialto is all about music. Nice. So I thought it was something that we could collaborate a little bit of everything about the traditional work and then the culture and overall the music. And then of course to make that Sonoran look, So they loved the idea. Surprisingly to know that after painting that, people were just like really fell in love with it because it is a romantic look to it. It
kind of transported me, to that golden era of Mexican cinema, la época de oro del cine mexicano, like very glamorous, kind of like Maria Felix-like.
Yes, that I felt kind of bringing that culture back in because, I mean, to know how beautiful Mexico is, I mean, it's still beautiful as it is even till now. But I was like, let's just bring that back and bring back the old traditional romantic theme and how beautiful it is. And you can see how the dress kind of it becomes very dramatic and exaggerates. It just shows off how the elegancy of her beauty. And that was the goal because it was influenced, that style, from the Mexican calendars that you see kind of rip off
at those restaurants.
The restaurants or Nana's Kitchen, So that was something I kind of wanted to bring back because that artist, Jesus Guerra, he was pretty much kind of put Mexico to a beautiful element, and it was that during that time. And so why not bring that back? But I felt like, how about to kind of show what the real true beauty of the Sonoran Desert. And so when I think about Sonora, I think of a woman's name. Okay. I think she's a woman. Mm-hmm. So I think, for example, the elements that I always try to put in the murals of these beautiful women is because to show the beauty, but yet again the extreme element that goes behind it.
And another, a block or two away from La Guitarrista, there's La Mujer Empoderada. Yeah. So she's a little bit of darker complexion. So how did this opportunity came about to also do this woman representation? I feel that women to you are very important in your life, or they inspire you.
Well, I mean, women are always going to be important. They have a lot of historic reputation on what they've provided in the world. I mean, just as a mother, as a teacher, as a nurse, women have this element that balances the society of nurturing and the beauty, of course, and just having that is just an amazing way to kind of appreciate that element of a woman.
Now, if you also like downtown, I know you probably driven on Congress, and you've seen also La Catrina, like yellowish. Mm-hmm. And, it's yellow and blue, and this is another, female. Yes. That you were inspired. Very representative of Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos.
Yes. So Tierra Antigua Realty, they approached me to do a mural, and they wanted to have sugar skulls, which are they call sugar skulls. Yeah. They're a big fan of it. And then I'm like, so you want something like a Day of the Dead theme? They're like, yes, because they're a huge fan of that. So then, but because their primary color of their business is yellow, it was kind of difficult to kind of figure out how to balance that out. And I just thought of an idea. I was like, what if I just paint the whole entire face and then use the whole entire building, and then making the flowers profound of their identity of their business. And they love the idea, and to see it, to know how it turned out. It's just a great piece.
It's like an iconic,
It's very bold, but it's really well balanced. The colors are just well balanced. I don't know. You just have to look at it to see, kind of, to enjoy the elements of design.
Okay, so another woman or somebody you were inspired on for. What is her name?
Rosa Resistance.
Okay.
So it's basically this building was being renovated, and so it's a historic building from the 1912, I think it was put together. So it was a lot of iron workers that were providing the support for the train, that the train system that was happening here downtown. So they were part of that, the iron work. This area, this block, I mean, the neighborhood's called Iron Horse, the neighborhood. So because of that, folks proposed this idea, and then I said, well, how about if we put a woman on there? And they're like, oh yeah, we loved it. So, and just to kind of give that feeling of as if you were there. Yeah, we thought it was like kind of cool way to kind of give that vibe of that time of the era, and then just imagine if a woman just hitting that, pounding that the metal and the sparks and stuff. But actually, that's how it was back then. That was the goal. So it's kind of stepping back in time, and they loved it, and a lot of people love this piece. And not many people know about it, but that's what makes it special, because it's once they see it, they're like, okay, wow, this is pretty badass.
And then there's another one, kind of hidden, but you have some piñatas chasing your son.
Yes.
Valente.
Yep, that's my son Val. Yeah, yeah. So the idea was, I was approached by the Arts Brigade, and then they were just kind of figuring out which artists is going to be accepted. So they just wanted some ideas that they needed for me to propose, and I didn't know. I guess originally they thought that the wall was going to be long and elongated, so I had to come up with an idea that how do I stretch out an idea that would be elongated. So finding out that that wall was not available, so then had me put this image on top of this other building, which was really challenging to work on the alley. But for the most part, they loved it, and it turned out for the best, because it's just that alley has this kind of ominous look to it, but yet again, it really does highlight the alley for what it represents.
And these are a few of his work that is, showcased throughout Tucson and other cities probably, but here this is in the heart of Tucson. Now, one special mural that you just recently completed is the one celebrating the 250th anniversary of the city of Tucson.
Yes.
And tell me about these elements, because here I saw, talking about the past, I see the past, and I also see the future, but I also see very representative of Sonora, la danza del venado, el yaqui.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit more.
So I was I'm getting approached by the Rio Nuevo, which I'm honored to have that opportunity to work with them, and the collaboration, having the idea to celebrate 250 years. I thought that was an amazing way to kind of celebrate it. So yeah, so we have, it basically kind of gives you the sense of like the beginning of time. The nature, and just kind of have that open space, and then kind of you see the indigenous settlers at that time, and then kind of bringing that culture. And also también is that these pictures that I was allowed to use, they were actually black and white. They were grainy, so I had to really kind of redefine it and put them in color. So that's one thing, I try to make it as colorful and creative as much as possible. So you might end up seeing these pictures online, and you'll notice like, oh, that's where it came from. So, but yeah, that's the point of to represent the true culture. The Tohol, yeah. So this is part of the Yaqui deer dancer. So without the guy playing the flute and the guy playing it's called the water drum. So it's part of the whole dance. Because usually people paint the Yaqui because he's more appealing, but this is more important to them. So this is having that to show the real true Yaqui experience of the festival of the Pascua Yaqui, the Fariseos, and then to know like from generation to generation is kind of there to kind of represent the future of the kids. And of course I added some dogs that that's part of the community. And then también you got a capilla, so you can never go wrong with the capilla. That's part of the Sonorans. Yeah. And then once you zoom in, you can actually see the future of Tucson, how it now develops. Yep. And so then these are the dialects of the way it was pronounced of Tucson. So you have Tucson, and it was actually called Tucson. And then you have the Spaniards, they call it Tucson. And then you have the Mexican, it's a Tucson. And then you have the cowboys, in that sense, the American cowboy kind of saying Tucson. or Tucson. And then now with the younger generation, everyone uses emojis and slang, so we put Tucson. And so then it kind of so it really kind of goes from the past to the present and then to the future to see how Tucson still holds its true identity.
Awesome. So for anybody out there, audiences, young people that will, probably aspire to be somebody like you, what does it take, or what would you recommend to them?
Well, this is the best advice I could always approach, because there's no other way around it. It's just to invest in yourself. It doesn't matter what artistic ability you have. You just got to invest in yourself, because when you invest in yourself, that means that you believe in yourself. Right. So people just might have that itch, and like they're going to try it, make a mural, do paintings and stuff, and then they lose interest, and you'd be surprised. It happens a lot. So, and the first thing is like people was like, oh, how much do I get paid? You gotta put in you gotta work it up. So, but overall, I mean, to make a mural, I just nothing to kind of get your work out there. At least do 6 murals. If you have a backyard, if you have a wall, try it out, paint over it, do another one, paint over it, do at least 6. Then you have an actual small portfolio. If you do 1 mural a month, that's 12 murals a year, and 1 year will go by fast. And by then, 12 murals, you'll be, you already have your technique locked down. And it's pretty easy. Just gotta make that effort.
What does Tucson represent for you? What does Tucson mean for you?
Tucson, the number one thing is the culture, the community, and the food.
Sí, la comida mexicana.
Yeah. To kind of put this landmark, this time mark, is just crazy to know. It still like makes me think 250 years. Wow. It's just wow.
Well, congratulations to you too, because you're making history here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we're gonna see it in all downtown. We can see it everywhere. So it's been an honor. I hope you enjoyed this interview.